I'm Craig Baumler. I'm the composer of Riders of the Purple Sage, based on the Western novel by Zane Grey.
This is born in the West, of a Western writer, with a Western composer, with a Western set designer, and it's totally unlike anything else. I mean, not only because it's new music, but because in subject matter, it's tremendously unique.
So we look at a poster of the opera season. Marriage of Figaro, La Bohème, Trovatore, Riders of the Purple Sage. I think it kind of jumps out.
The distinctive point of difference is that it's an American Western. We don't have any of those.
I think when you're born here, the West just gets in your soul.
Sometimes you will find a piece that leaps off the page. It was the end of the day. I thought, gee, I think I'll read some Zane Grey. So I pulled up 28 titles on Kindle, and there was Riders of the Purple Sage. There was a bunch of wonderful titles, evocative, but that one had rhythm and color, and it was sexy. And if you're a composer, you know Riders of the Purple Sage. And I thought, I didn't really know anything about it.
Yes, it's a story set within the West, but it isn't the proverbial, spaghetti Western cowboy drama, cliched thing. It's a story about people, and most importantly to me, it was a story about a strong woman.
Jane is a very religious, very formal woman, but she is certainly a fiery, independent spirit, which I think fits right along with some of the best characters in opera.
The fact that Craig is an American living in Arizona writing the first piece that is a Wild West opera. I mean, everyone knows Girl of the Golden West by Puccini. He was not an American, and he certainly wasn't living in the Wild West.
American audiences know the Old West and the territory of Zane Grey like the back of their hands. So it's a way of translating something that's already kind of etched upon our souls and allowing us to see it in a new way.
There is an opera called The Ballad of Baby Doe, but it doesn't really have Western themes like the bandit, the bad guys, the good guys, the guns, the horses.
Not as long as I have my gun. A man without a gun is only half a man. A man without a gun is something not a man. It's a wild time, Jane, ain't no mercy in the West. And a man without a gun is only half a man.
To me, the opera is playing with it's a new element, and on such a grand scale. And as an artist, a subject matter, you got to have something that's got, for me anyway, that has a lot of grandeur and a lot of drama to the forms.
We are outside, and he captures the strength, the scope, the beauty, and the intimidation of this landscape. And that's intoxicating and scary all at once, and that's exactly what happens in this piece.
The overall thread of this piece, I've come to discover, is about people seeking home, their place in the world. What is your place in the world? Jane is being forced from her home. Lassiter, the gunman, has been roaming, searching for some stability. Bess and Venters have been driven out, and they're going to seek a new home somewhere. The bishop and Tull have sought to create their place.
Lassiter is an interesting character just because of how stiff and sort of mysterious he is at the beginning.
Don't threaten me. I don't recognize you or your damn law. You can know high and mighty on me. I could put you all in your graves right now. Every one of you. Would it be so high and mighty then? called Lassiter.
I'd say that Lassiter is a character that a lot of guys would be really excited to sing because he's a John Wayne of opera. He's, you know, this big tough character with a gun that everyone is terrified of, but deep down there's a soft core, a good person inside.
I appreciate very much that Riders has a lot of melody. I feel that it's very accessible music, and yet it's not simple, it's complex, but it is just filled with beautiful moments. It's definitely never a thing I thought I would be doing in opera, but I think that's what makes it so cool, is it's totally unique, something nobody's seen before, something nobody's been a part of. So I'm thrilled. I'll wear cowboy boots, sure.
What we do at the very base of the art form is just tell great stories through music. And we don't exclude stories from any constituency.
Is essentially about guns in society, religious fundamentalism, and in this particular piece, Our Leading Lady's faith is fantastic, and it never wavers, and it remains to be the bulwark of this piece. It's her churchmen around her that have become corrupted, and it's extremely current because it pits a kind of fundamentalism against a real, true, loving, healing faith.
Opera is a great place, it's a safe place for unsafe topics, because you should be able to engage an audience in a different way and make them a little more cognizant of their personal beliefs and how their belief system fits into an artistic project.
I think it is a very powerful piece. It speaks to issues that are, you know, still things that we all talk about and deal with, and I think it would be a wonderful addition to the opera repertory, especially being in English, being, you know, a story that everybody can relate to and, you know, feel a part of.
I do feel with the piece and the way that Craig and Steve have written it that you could put any religion in there. It just doesn't have to be just Mormon. It could be any religion or any kind of set situation where people are forced to do something they don't want to do. And it applies, so I think it's very accessible, both story and musically.
I think this particular collaboration between Ed and Craig and Stephen is fairly unique, and it stands to be a real high watermark for our company and for opera in general across our country.
I just want this to be a rollicking, edge of your seat, powerful piece of drama that just grabs you, pulls you in, and by the end of it you're like you've really been somewhere.
think there's a lot of apology that we aren't Italians and so we don't really do Puccini that well or whatever. Well, the heck with that. You know, this one's ours.
I don't know what's going to happen after this. I don't know.
A production is the best thing that can happen from this moment on.
Child, Millie Earn, a beautiful